going on, guys? Killer D here with another Bleach Immortals video. So today I wanted to make a build focused entirely on the Aizen boss event. Reason being is because I saw a lot of players on Discord and on Reddit saying why isn't the rage reduction rate ain't working anymore. That's because it wasn't supposed to work. So I made a build focused entirely on CC and dealing extra damage as a whole towards Aizen. So the main character is going to be Toshiro, Yamamoto, Sasakibe, Gin, Tozen, and Rukia. So for the Shikai version of Toshiro, also deals extra damage equal to 5% of the target's max health. For his rage, we're mainly going to be using CC is freeze, and mainly is that one because of Rukia's chill effect passive, which is going to make a freeze a dot. So that's going to make freeze the best CC to use because he's not going to be able to deal his rage and deal any damage right after that turn, and then you're also going to do damage along with that. The Shikai version does have a defense debuff, so you're going to deal more damage. For his passive, he's going to buff the back row. For me, it's going to buff hit by 1065, so my back row is going to be hitting harder. For his Bankai version, it's going to help you out more with your team surviving with the shields, and then he's going to deal more damage. So for his mastery skill, he gains a shield that equals 10% of his max health, and then for his passive, he's going to deal more damage to frozen enemies, and then allies, when they deal crits, they're going to gain a shield equal to 25% of his attack. So that's going to help you survive more. For his rage, he lowers the crit chance by 15%, has a 20% chance to freeze. Now for Rukia, her passive, when she is alive, chill is applied to frozen enemies, deals 8% of the chiller's max HP as damage when frozen is removed. She's going to lower the attack by 5%, has a 15% chance to freeze. We're teaming those two up with Yamamoto because of his passive, which increases the effect accuracy of allied skill specialty characters. Also, his passive includes a burn effect if Aizen hits him, so it's going to be more damage. His mastery skill has a 20% chance to stun, that's a CC. His rage skill has a burn effect dealing more damage over time, and has a 10% chance to stun as well. Main damage dealers are going to be Sasakibe. He also has a CC, which works great. So his mastery skill has a 24% chance of paralyzing. For his passive, when using normal attacks, has a chance to paralyze. For right now, for me, it's going to be 22%. So that's going to have a CC, and then with his rage, which is the most important, it's going to ignore 30% chance of defense. You team this up with the War Soul of the Eye, that's to add a maxed out gold one, that's going to be 90% at a high probability of 70% chance. Now with Gin, for his mastery skill, increases his crit chance by 25%, therefore he's going to be able to crit more often, deal more damage. His passive, when he is alive, all allies damage increased by 10% when attacking bleeding targets. So he's going to proc this bleed effect with his rage skill. And then I have it awakened, so it's going to deal poison damage as well. We're teaming him up with Tozen because his mastery skill has a bleed effect, so therefore helping Gin with that passive, proccing that more damage overall for your whole team. His rage has a bleed effect. For his passive, when he's alive, the attack of the back row is going to be increased by 7.6%. That's to level 47. So your back row is going to be your main damage dealing. And then he says here, he decreases the damage reduction rate of the target by 10% after he unleashes his rage skill. Now other units that you can use are going to be Aizen, who's going to be a very good one as well, because he's also a CC, and then he can steal attack and defense. So for his mastery skill, steals 15% of the target's damage rate, 30% chance to disorient. His rage steals 15% attack, 30% defense, and has inflicts bleed, which is going to help out with Gin. Passive, therefore the whole team's dealing more damage. Has a 50% chance to steal 2 buffs. passive, defense of all enemies decreased by 10%. When being attacked, attacker has a chance to disorient. For right now, it's 24% for me. You can also go with 2 white tigers that I've picked are going to be Kenpachi and Lisa. Kenpachi has a dual effect, so the fewer characters on the battlefield, the higher the damage. For his rage, he does have a defense debuff for 30%, and then increases the crit chance of the back row by 15%, so that's going to be more damage for that back row and the entire team. For the passive, when he's alive, he increases the damage rate of all allies, and then he increases his own effect reduction by 40%. The last white tiger that I decided to go with is Lisa. So her mastery skill ignores 20% of the target's defense, has a 20% chance to remove 1 buff. For her rage, the less targets there are in the back row, the more damage. Since it's going to be Aizen by himself, she's going to be able to deal more damage. For her passive, if there's white tigers alive, she's going to deal more damage to male enemies, which is going to be Aizen. If there's Azure dragons alive, she has a chance to apply Crush, which if the target's current HP is over 70, 60% more damage dealt to that target. So you can go 6 Azure dragons, which I'm going to go with, or you can go 5 Azure dragon with Aizen included in there, and either Lisa or Kenpachi, or you can go 4 Azure dragon and go 2 white tiger. Now the war souls that I'm going to pick, for Toshiro and Rukia, we're going to go with the War Soul of Shattering, so we can increase that effect accuracy by 20%. Gets gold maxed out. For the War Soul of the Eye, like I said, it's going to go to Katsukibe, so that you can ignore more defense, therefore dealing more damage. And if you do it when the shield is down, you're going to deal an insane amount of damage. You can put the War Soul of the Crippling on Gin, so that when dealing damage, has a 50% chance to make the target receive 15% more damage. So you're going to get 10% from a target if it's bleeding, 15% if this procs. Other war souls that you can use is Azura if you have it. It's going to be a really good one. War Soul of Fury, which is going to increase attack by 1500 plus 12%. Rage skill, damage is going to be increased by 20%. If you want something not focused entirely on rage, you can go with the War Soul of the Wrath, which is going to probably be the best one. Second best. Because War Soul of the Eye is going to be the best one. Increase the attack by 1500, crit chance increase, and then damage rate increase. War Soul of the Crit is going to be another good one. If you're going with the Bankai Toshiro, this is going to help you out proc that shield more often, because it's going to increase the crit chance by 20%. Now for the character war souls that I decided to go with, if you want more healing, you can go with Orihime. It's going to be a really good one for the entire team. And then for the command one, the main one that we're going to use is going to be Zangetsu, because it lasts 3 rounds, so it's going to last until that shield is down for that damage rate. We're not going to use Ichigo because this only lasts 2 rounds, so you're not going to... This would only work if you use that rage in those first 2 rounds, which most of us are going to save until the 3rd round, so it's not going to help you out at all. You can... Other 3s that I would probably... The other 3 here are useful as well, but it's up to you if you want to use them. It's going to increase the chance to trigger an extra mastery skill. For Byakuya, increase allied attack by 1.5%, damage rate by 1.5%, and bleed damage by 10%. So we're also going to use the War Soul of Uryu, so that's going to help out. I would probably put that on somebody who doesn't affect bleed. That way you have 3 characters who have a chance to deal that bleed damage, and then they're going to benefit from this one. For the passive, we're going to go with Joshiro, which is going to also be another heal, increase the Sober's damage rate by 10%, and then regenerate rage. So depending on how fast that rage regen is, you probably want to put this on one of the characters who has a higher chance of inflicting that freeze. We're going to go with Uryu, like I said, so you can get that bleed effect. Therefore, it's going to help out with Gin's passive, dealing 10% more damage to that target. So you can, I wouldn't put this on Gin or Totem because they already have a bleed effect on them. This will be better on either Sasakibe or Yamamoto. We're gonna also go with Aizen's War Soul because it steals attack and defense, and it's gonna increase the attack and defense, or the attack and HP, I'm sorry. You can also go with the War Soul, the Avatar, which if I max mine out right now, it's gonna have a 30% chance to ignore 8% of the plus 100 of the target's defense. So it's gonna help you more damage on mastery skills. So you guys, that's gonna be it for my video. Like I said, this build is focused entirely on the Aizen boss event. Because you're looking more towards CC, you could probably use it on other things, but I thought of this mainly because of the Aizen boss event. Tell me what you guys think about it, maybe how I can improve it, characters that you would take out. But yeah guys, drop them in the comments down below. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. And as always guys, have a good one.